We know there are many choices in internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
Brakes on a bus, brakes on a car, brakes to make you a superstar, brakes to win and brakes to lose. And these here brakes rock your shoes, and these are the brakes. Break it up, break it up, break it up.
Welcome to the Boardroom with your hosts, King Kadar, Kevin Black, myself, Steve Pena. Al Franklin will be joining us in the second half hour. We got some great guests tonight, but we're going to kick it off first with our music segment that Mr. Black started last week, the Kevin Black's Pick to Click. Kevin, you got a tune for us this week?
Yes, I got a tune for us, and I'm just letting you know they out here from L.A. Now, Steve, this group is so good that I wanted to bring it to you and personally play it. And they're producers, they're writers, and what's good about them, King Kadar, is that they, they're the full spectrum. And the name of the group, or the name of the congregation, I'm going to say congregation, is called Them Dudes. Give them a round of applause, y'all. Them Dudes.
Them Dudes.
We them dudes.
Yes, and wait till you hear them Dudes. The name of the record is, Steve, tell me the name of the record.
This one's So High.
So High. So can we hear So High real quick?
Sound like Iggy, y'all.
Show you the stairway up the heaven later. Got her running like Vic, now she catching vapors. I zig, she zag, rolling paper. She a master, she got that fire though. Then high, can we go a little higher though? That's all I'm really asking. Start out slow, then go fast in. I'm the change of pace that you ain't used to. Beat the old high score, yeah, who knew? But I knew I had to have you, baby. Your addiction that makes me a habit, baby. We go at it crazy, She says she love it when I come around. And she's so high, she don't wanna come down. You down. New heights, you're gonna be something I like. I'm ready for a comeback, come back, and yeah, I might. You wanna get it tonight? Best love and hit up your life. Come rock my body, I'm feeling naughty. You give it to me right.
Yeah, that's Them Dudes from L.A. featuring Priceless in September. Now, I know you had them they were featured on one of your showcases. I know you do all those talent showcases in Hollywood and LA area. You had them on one of your showcases?
Well, yeah, I had them on a showcase because what I like about Them Dudes, they're very creative. They can do the R&B stuff. They can do the pop. They can do a little bit of rock and roll. But what makes me so interested, they are just Them Dudes. They hot. And the little girl they got with them, sound a little bit like Iggy, sound a little bit like, they are what's happening today. So in my book, Them Dudes, I give them 4 claps up.
What you say, King? You want to weigh in a little bit?
I like them. It's more so it's that 80s feel, you know what I'm saying? And that's
right.
More so what's hitting and what's hot right now. They got that little 80s feel, back in the day. I like it. What you say, Derek?
Oh yeah, man, I like it. I can't really sing, so everybody sound real fly to me. I really like that, man. It's like hip hop and a little, you know what I mean. Got a nice little vibe to it.
Oh man.
So Steve, what do you feel about it before I go any further?
Yeah, well, I'm definitely down with Them Dudes. This is Sam Steele, DJ Deluxe, Priceless the rapper. He's been in the game for a minute. September, new girl coming on the scene. So they got a nice little crew behind them and doing their thing. They got a lot of material. So I'm looking for big things in the future from Them Dudes.
So when we gonna have them on the show?
Well, it's your music segment, so if you want them next week, when Kevin Black speaks, we all listen. So.
Okay. So what I'm doing next week is I'm gonna have 783 up here. 783. It's Sean B and Bolden. Sean Bolden. They got a record out that's cold-blooded. I heard it. And next week, I'm going to have them live up here. They're going to talk. And if my creative guy in the background will put a picture of 783, they have back in the day a guy named Singleton in the record business. I think his name was Ernie Singleton, signed them. And they've been on tour with Public Enemy and a lot of people. So next week I'm gonna have 783 and I'm gonna I'm calling them dudes out where they can come up here next week and interview. So I have 2 interviews next week, them dudes and the one and only 783.
That's going to be hot. Yes,
hot.
sir.
So, and we're going to do a little freestyle with them next week. So please. And maybe King Kadar spit a line or 2 with us.
He's been
A
known
little
to.
something, you know. I do a little freestyle it, you know what I'm saying?
And
Make it do what it do, baby.
And I got some of my young guys, my guy Cameron, and his name is Cameron, and he's in the background. If the cameras hit the back there, see him. He's with his father, John, and Big John is like my best family friend. So Cameron, he's in the studio doing a lot of stuff. So once he get his stuff together, we're going to have him live on the show.
He got them Ray Charles eyes.
I make it do what it do, baby. I make it do what it do. I just need a little taste.
So,
Well, yeah.
so that's my segment for today. You know, the music segment.
Well, yeah, we do music, movies, money, and more. We do it all, comedy and everything. King's, I know King's got a couple of special guests lined up for today. King, give us a little insight into what you got coming up for us.
Well, actually, we got some of the hottest comedians in the building right now. The one that's in the building right now, matter of fact, we have a show. It's going down the first Friday, March 6th. Not this Friday, but the following Friday at the Comedy Union, 5040 Pico Boulevard. Showtime 8 p.m. It would be myself hosting, Derek Ellis, Melanie Camacho, and many, many more going to be off the chain. So y'all call in if y'all want to win some free tickets. But
wait a minute, Melody Camacho
is in the building right now. You understand?
Man, I've
me?
been wanting to have sex with her so
Oh,
bad.
how you love that?
But she ain't in the big niggas.
Oh man, how you doing that? But let's talk about the subject at hand. We got the man in charge. It's one of my good friends. We go all the way back like Adidas. Mr. Derek Ellis. He's been on BET, Comic View, Def Jam. Wrote quite a few books. One of the only comedian that's out there that has written several books, help books for real. Derek, tell them about yourself. What's going on, big baby?
Oh man, King, I almost didn't come, man. You know that gas so hot, man. I put $10 in my car. That put it on E. So I said, man, I might have to just YouTube my segment. But man, I'm glad you invited me out, man. It's a nice group of guys here, man. And,
This is the boardroom, dude.
Yeah, the boardroom, man. And last time I heard about the boardroom, I was in court. They went to the boardroom. I said, God, man.
What's going on with these books you got? Or how many books you got?
I've written 5 books. My most recent book, I wrote a book called The Crenshaw Vampire. And that's I dove into like some thriller, like horror, so I just wanted to try some. I'm a comic, so I wanted to just try something dark. But my most people get is The Comic Killer, which is a dark humor, suspense, yeah.
And to where can we get these books from?
Oh, you can get them at Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com.
And what's the names of them?
The Comic Killer, The Crenshaw Vampire. I also got a joke book called I Wanna Laugh.
Oh, you love that. Yeah. And tell us a little bit before we go into a different segment. We got a little bit of time to spend with Mr. Derek Ellis. Tell us, how's it being a comedian? Give us some outlooks. We like to bring the comedians on here and just get a nice little mind state of how is it being a comedian? You know, is it all that it was cracked up to be? Is it still fun? Is it just business? What's cracking?
Well, you could attest to this. It's a complex business, because the thing about it is that you could be real funny. However, you still don't get the look that you think you deserve. And there might be somebody less talented you, but get the right look.
So let me ask you a question. How do you get the look?
Well, a lot of times you get that look by being put on the right showcase. A lot of times comics, they have showcases where various industry players come to the showcase, and if they don't put you on, that's when you really want to be on. And the powers that quote unquote at B make the decision who they would like to select to get on to be seen.
Okay.
So you can be funny, but you can be hidden though.
Okay, so let me ask you: if you had to name 3 powers that at B, and you was telling a young comedian they should make friends with, who would be the 3 names you would give them? Just throwing them out. Not that you giving out numbers, but
like
who would be the 3 powers at B that you would say these are the people you better know, or try to get to know, or try to see what's up?
Well, to that aspect, in terms of the comedy industry, you would want a person like, say, for instance, to really go to the next level. You would want somebody like,
Kevin Hart.
Well, Kevin Hart is a comic, and so Kevin Hart is but he has a camp that is very powerful.
Oh yeah,
but
Tony Rock.
Yeah. But you were talking about industry people, huh?
Right, right. I'm not talking about the comedian, because the artists
talking like Stan Latham.
Yeah. That would be a good person to impress. A guy like David E. Talbot. He's a filmmaker.
Russell Simmons.
He could put you in some action. A guy like Russell Simmons. This new thing now is like the Shaq All Star. So that group, Jeff Flanagan and that crew, would be some people that you would want to see and like you.
Right. Okay. So for you young comedians out there, he gave a couple of jewels out there. Google them, look them up, get their number. And I'm not saying send your resume, but stay on alert. So stay ready, so you don't have to get ready.
Right.
And I know King, you're doing something like that with your network comedy show.
Actually, that's exactly what we're doing, Steve. And I appreciate you bringing that up to date, because it was more so back when me and Derek Ellis started. When we first came to LA, you could go to the Improv Factory Comedy Store and you could do your best, put in 110, and somebody may see you and say, okay, you got talent. I myself, I feel that I was one of the blessed ones, that I had a decent career where a lot of spots that I went to, I did meet people and they did put me on in different aspects, but some didn't. So I told myself, once I get to a spot in my career where I could help, I'm not at the point where I'm, Chris Tucker, Kevin Hart, or Dave Chappelle, but I'm right behind them. I'm 50 Cent right back about to blow. So I said, let me go and start a spot where I bring my network, which is like Steve Pina, Kevin Black, Tony. I have like 5 different directors coming to the network on March the 6th, first Friday at the Comedy Union. Several actors, Ella Joyce, you may know her from Preacher's Kid, Ella English from the Jamie Foxx Show, Tony Cox from Bad Santa. It's going to be a slew of people there that could assist you in your career. A lot of agents, casting agents, Phaedra Harris, Alton Glass, a director, just finished Crew. He's on the show today. He'll be at the event. So it's more so just trying to bring together the powers to be to help.
And Little Bird told me there's a little rumor floating around that you just got a nice little gig over in Texas.
Oh, yeah. I'll be down at the Hollywood Improv in Texas all weekend. Me and DeRay Davis, his big birthday bash, 6 shows, going to be off the chain. I actually leave 7 in the morning on Thursday, and I'm out of here till Monday.
Wow.
Yes, sir. And then I'll be right back on the show. It's going to be off the chain. DeRay do it big. That's the only comedian that I know. How many women did this man roll with?
I be like, D-Ray, man, let me just have one of them.
D, he call them the D-Rets.
Yeah.
He has like 22 honeys in every state I've been to him. It's not like he just like that in L.A. or in his hometown, Chicago. This brother got multiple women every city we go to.
So he makes you look short with your 12 women, right?
No, I make it do what it do, baby. I got my little bunch too. King Keita ain't, I always got mine. You seen the twins. I make it do what it do, baby.
I love it. I love it. But, let me ask you something. In the comedian world, I never been a comedian. I tried that shit and it didn't work for me.
You funny
though. But I'm just like, why is it the comedians don't get together and do their own shit together? Because you got the kings of comedies, then you got the bad boys. Fuck that. Why don't D-Ray and you make up a new one called We Don't Give a Fuck About Comedy and put the baddest motherfuckers on DVD and sell the DVD for $2 and work that shit out? I mean, why that never happened? Because in the rap community, shit's happening every day. I mean, it's a new filter, and it looked like in a comedian, oh, I don't want that comedian on my show. He's too good, or I don't like him. I don't get along with him. Or
It's politics, man. It's all about politics. What you say?
Well, you know, and that's a good point you brought up, and that I say the same thing, because if you look at the cats who really made it in stand-up, you understand what I mean? Yet big cats, and yet there's no African American comedy club, not many, but 4 or 5, where you have maybe about 1,000, 2,000 mainstream clubs. European, so that's a good question. A lot of cats, we should pull together, because we could have a lot of tours going, because see, you seeing the same people all the time.
You seeing the same
and the
people.
crowd to I know when black people spend their money, they want a miracle. You know what I mean? You can't come every time. It's like, man, you got to change that joke up. I mean, you know, a comic, you know, it take a long time to develop an hour worth of material. You know,
Right.
and so when you come back to a city and do the same thing, black people be like,
Yeah, come with
I
something
mean, I
new.
liked it, but I can't afford this week. You know,
Right.
so,
And it's a lot of politics.
so
'cause
yeah, it's politics, and so yeah, like King say, you know, but it should be that. But we need somebody to you know what, put that together, because you know
we need a comedy union.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
basically.
We performing at the comedy union, but we need a union.
Well,
you know
maybe
what I'm
that's going to be your next calling. But I know you have jumped over into the film field a little bit. You got into some film work, some movies. Give us a little background on some of that. Maybe who the casting agents were that helped you along the way and get some of those film roles.
I would say one name, and she will be on the show Blessed in the next couple of weeks. She actually has a school that she does for acting. It's Phaedra Harris, and she is here from Los Angeles, California. Most of my start was with Phaedra. I went into an interview with my friend that was a radio host, actually, in Atlanta, and he took me on an audition with him, and he was like, you know, maybe we can get you on there. And they picked me instead of him. And it was Phaedra Harris that said that he couldn't act, you know. And that, I ain't had nothing to do with that. You know, I just happened to be, that's the secret of my success, being in the right place at the right time. So Phaedra Harris is one of the powers to be in L.A., in my opinion, for multicultural actors.
And that was The Preacher's.
The Preacher's Kid. She did The Preacher's Kid, Hood Rat with Isaiah Washington, Guy Torrey, Ice-T. That was the first one she put me on. Second one was Preacher's Kid. We just did one we filming in Alabama, which hasn't started yet, but that's in the mix right now. We talk about that when it dropped, you know. And actually, I just finished one called Chocolate City with Vivica Fox, DeRay Davis, he's in it. Carmen Electra, Michael J. White, Darren Henson. I can keep on going. It's off the chain.
So you've been working it. You've been doing your thing, grinding out there.
I would say I'm an independent. I would say to people, it's better to be independent in this business, because for the simple fact, if you're owned by people and you have a spirit like I do, and when I say that, it's not the point that I don't follow the rules. It's just the point that I stay in my own lane. Some things I just won't do. So if you focus on building your own name and your own brand, because just like Derek Ellis, he started all his books, he's building his brand. And after a while, you may have seen him as a comedian 10 years down the line. This man got 13 books, Barnes and Nobles.
Now, you might collaborate on that Crenshaw Vampire. Did you tell him you did a vampire role?
Oh, yeah, Teeth and Blood, which came out December 31st, you know, on the Urban Movie Channel with me and Glenn Plummer. We need to go on and do the Crenshaw Vampire.
That might be
thing.
that'd be
sequel.
nice, man.
We get Al Franklin to put that together.
Yeah, that could be the sequel.
Mhm.
Yeah, that would be nice, because actually, can I say what it's about?
Please,
Well,
please.
actually, I wrote it. It's about a ex-corrupt police officer who turns into this ferocious murderer, but he loves the.
And where you
limelight.
get this story from?
shit, where you get the motherfucking story from? It's the truth. How many
How about
corrupt
that?
police officers are there? Shit, they just ain't turning into vampires in the morning.
Yeah. So it's.
Today we was almost late for the show. There was an accident Steve told us go leave the diner, make a right. Cop pulled us over and said, yo, somebody's laid out in the ground. So he wouldn't let me go through. I asked the cop the truth. I said, shit, is he dead? I mean, so the cop said, we don't know yet. I said, well, if he ain't dead, let me roll by and at least try to help the kid out. I didn't want to get back on the freeway, go to Manchester, and then come all the way back up. I would have never made it here. And the producer of the show, he is on time, whether you hear or not.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, speaking of police stories, I had an interesting meeting today with retired police officer Greg Kading. He's got a book out called Murder Rap, the untold story of Biggie Smalls and Tupac Shakur murder investigations. He was the lead investigator, so we're looking to see what we can do maybe with pulling out a few projects with the book here. He just finished up a documentary that they're getting ready to put out, and so there's quite a story there too on Biggie and Tupac murders.
So what did he tell you about it? I mean, what is something? I mean, tell me something.
The big thing that came out of it, he was shopping it for a couple of movie deals here in town, but nobody wanted to touch it because he was pointing the finger at Puffy for Tupac's murder. He said that was all tied in, and that it was Puffy's gang connections on the West Coast that made it all happen. And so everybody said, well, if you're gonna point the finger at Puffy, we really don't want to get involved too much with that. So
you don't want to mess with Puffy, Steve.
But Suge Knight's another story. Now that he's up in jail, everybody wants to jump on Suge. He's the Al Capone of the new century here, I guess.
Didn't he get knocked out at a barbershop though?
I don't know. Well, Mr. Black might know a little bit more about that.
I love the way you passed that goddamn potato. Mr. Black may know about that bullshit. I mean, everybody in the news know about it.
Oh
shit.
Man, yeah, that's what I'm
goddamn,
saying. Like it's a secret.
It's a
Steve
secret.
got scared. He was like, "Are you talking about that? He coming after me and my family."
Hey, boy, King Gadar asked you something on. He'll throw that hot potato on your ass. And Steve, I don't know. That's Kevin Black.
Said it to his boy.
Ain't this a bitch? I'm like, God damn it. Everybody know that shit.
Oh, man.
Well, you were at death row. I mean, you do have a little inside information, I would think.
But I was in that death row at that goddamn time. I believe I was at Warner Brothers. But, like I said.
They say every dog gets his day, though.
Yeah,
How you love that?
Well, I will tell you
You
this.
hit enough people, you going to get hit your damn self. Can I get an amen?
Amen. But, like I said, what the show, I want everybody out there to know, LA Talk Live, the Boardroom with King Gadar, Steve Pina, myself, Kevin Black, and Al. The show is highlighting people who are doing something, grinding, or doing something hot. We're going to have people here that are very interesting, and we're going to have people here that are climbing the ladder, and then we're going to have people here that made the ladder, and we're going to have people here to help you get to the ladder. So please listen up, let us know. And what's the number here, Steve?
The dial-in is 323-473-3100. So we hope we get some call-ins.
They can get some free tickets for March 6th. How you love that?
And we're going to see what's going on. So the next segment on it.
Before we go to the next segment, can we plug Derek Ellis' book?
Oh, please.
This is another the Comic Killer book I wrote. Also, it's a real nice book. Very entertaining. It's about a rising comic who kills on stage with laughter, but ends up killing off stage. So.
Do you still do
what in real life?
You still do stand-up, Derek?
I still do it. Yeah.
Any shows coming up? We might be able to go catch you.
He's on the road with Corey Holcomb right now. He's on tour.
I toured with Corey for 2 years, and so I got a show coming up.
Hold on, Derek. Can I have the book, please?
No.
I mean, so just in case.
Oh, okay.
Come by me.
Okay.
Shit, if you don't mind.
Oh yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate it. But no, so I'm doing a show on March the 6th with my man King Gadar. Also, I got a show coming up. I'll be doing a Ventura Comedy Club in Ventura. That's the month of April. And what else? I mean, I got stuff just pops up.
Right. Well, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Doing it big and bright.
That pop-up money is the best money.
Yeah, man.
Ain't nothing like going to the mailbox, seeing a check that you didn't expect.
Yeah.
I love to see
I
some
got one
your
of them
faces.
today. It wasn't nothing to brag about, but it was something.
Right.
How about that?
I'm gonna tell you, I got a check in the mail a week ago for $125. That shit paid my phone bill. I ain't
love
fucking
that.
with y'all.
How about my first check from Preacher's Kid was $4 when I had the kids for the summer, and we just knew it was gonna be big. They had played it and played it and played it, but BET don't pay that much money. And me and my kids, I was like, yeah, when Daddy get this check, we about to ball out for the summer. We going to Disneyland. As soon as that check came, we was passing it around. Ha,
You
all
went
of
to
it.
Taco Bell dollar menu meal?
Hey.
or-
Nah, I called you, remember? Yo, Steve, I'll let your boy Obi something.
Now, speaking of something to brag about, brag a little bit about what you got coming up in the second half of the show. I know you got some more good things lined
Oh,
up
the
for
second
us.
half is going to be off the chain, you guys. You know this is the Boardroom, movies, music, and money. So these next two guests is coming up. Actually, we're going to have Al Franklin. He'll be stepping in. Tony Roney is in the building as well. Tony, the Rainbow Edition. You understand? Tell us what's going on. You
I
understand?
definitely want to hear Tony's shit.
Yeah, I want to hear what Tony got
Tony
going on.
to say, because Tony bring it. I
Yeah.
swear to God.
And then
But
you-
where's my girl at?
Yeah, but we got Melanie Camacho. Melanie, I'm going to give Melanie Camacho love. She's off the chain. She's also going to be one of the lead ladies at the show March the 6th at the Comedy Union 8 p.m. show. And she just got on Last Comic Stand. And y'all get at a round of applause.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And a film director, too, or no?
And also we have, I believe, we're scheduled to have Alton Glass to come in the building.
Yeah.
Alton Glass from the new movie Crew, and actually we had Keith Robinson here last week, and he was one of the actors that was on the movie that he did.
So
Yeah,
the boardroom has them coming through.
The Boardroom got him going on. And next week we have
Glenn
Bob Sumner.
and Glenn Plummer.
How you love that?
Yeah.
And 783.
How you
And them
love that?
dudes.
Yes, and them dudes.
How about that?
And last but not least, maybe I can get DJ Gordon out the bed and spin a little bit for us. Ficka, because he stays asleep. I don't know
How you
why.
love that? We can get a DJ. Can we get a DJ off up in here?
Yes,
Flex a little
I'm
bit?
trying.
I got one.
Yeah, well, guess what? If Gordon give me the word, hey, he can start it off. We put him right with that little, see where you got that little advertisement that say love? You come up here, put it on, bing, bang, bang, spin it, and we got it live and thing. And then, we'll have the sound effects, and the effects will be right.
Now I know we started out talking about music, Kevin, and we're going to be going out here in a couple minutes for a break. But can you just give us a little taste of kind of what the new music business is about? I know it's changed a lot in the last couple of years now with all the digital.
Well, I mean, nobody in the music business now is really saying the music business is my last career and I'm going to stay in it. I'm going to win in it. Because the music business now it's changing every day. And if you're not up on it, you're going to get ran over by it. So, I a lot of people, like, you got some artists that go into branding. Branding is like a guy like Puffy. Puffy went into the liquor business and turned it into a multi-million business. Then you got artists like Dr. Dre who went into electronics
Beats.
and turned it into something. Then you got artists like 50 Cent that went into the TV business.
Vitamin water.
And Vitamin Water was something short-lived, but he went into the TV business and turned it into something. So I just gave
And
you
then
three.
you got King Kedar that had made his own cookbook and started doing recipes and bottling stuff.
Yeah, yes. So what I'm trying to say is you're using the music business as a vehicle now, and a vehicle to help you move the car. And then while you're moving the car, you're looking on each side of the street to see what you're gonna do. So I say this to all the people: if the music business is something you want, know the checkerboard so you can win and try to say "King me."
I love how you said that.
That's it. All right, we're here in the boardroom. Kevin Black, King Kedar. We got a good second half of the show coming up. I'm Steve Pina. We'd like you to call in the boardroom. We'd love to hear from you. This is LA Talk Live. LATalkLive.com. The boardroom.
Or we could take a plane, girl. You're in my Hall of Fame, but there's only one thing. I don't know your name. By now I'm looking in the crowd. Do I see you out there?
We know there are many choices in internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
Hey everybody, it's your man Sabir Bey back on your airwaves, inviting you to join us every Tuesday, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the Sabir Bey Show, discussing history, law, and hip-hop. Every Tuesday, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, the Sabir Bey Show, exclusively on latalklive.com. You also can catch us on iTunes Radio and R&B, Live 365, Radio Flag, and now Stitcher Radio. Or watch us and listen directly at latalklive.com. Reality radio, handcrafted for your listening pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we are more than just talk.
Hi, this is Tika Lark Fleming inviting you to join me every Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for MP Chronicle Presents The Black Girl Show. Join us as we discuss politics, pop culture, and the other side of Black LA. So don't forget to tune in to MP Chronicle Presents The Black Girl Show every Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, exclusively on latalklive.com. You can also catch us on iTunes Radio R&B or watch us on Ustream.tv. Reality radio handcrafted for your listening pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we are more than just talk.
Yeah, you're back with the Boardroom now. We got the full Boardroom convened tonight, so we got a full house. We're going to get a lot of good information for you and interesting people to talk to and about. That was Them Dudes you were listening to, featuring Priceless in September. The song is So High. Kevin Black featured them a couple weeks back on his showcase, Them Dudes. And we got King Kedar's Comedy Corner coming up. King, I'm going to turn it over to you for your Comedy Corner. I know that's your specialty.
Well, I'd like to say what's happening in the boardroom in the building, and we got the beautiful Miss Melanie Camacho in the building. Y'all give a love.
All right.
Melanie just finished last comic standing, if I'm correct.
No, I didn't finish. We haven't started yet.
Okay, my bag. See, that's what happened when you got old. You filmed it?
We are starting.
You're starting.
We haven't even started yet. We started.
So let me give you the microphone. Tell us what's going on. Tell us what's going on, Melanie, and all your new attributes and things you got going on right now. I'm gonna let the round.
Okay, well, last comic standing is supposed to be a secret. Really, they don't want us talking about it. So all I can say is check it out on NBC, the new one. I'll be on it. Been going everywhere. I'm on my way to Atlanta, March the 21st and the 22nd the 21st and the 22nd, Legends Comedy House. It's a hot club, and Google it. Check it out. It's one of the hottest comedy clubs in Atlanta, and it's black owned. So you guys got to come out and support. I'm just trying to keep it moving. I'm still here. They still calling, and I'm still working. So God is good. I'm just trying to keep it moving.
Let me ask you a question real quick. We was talking about something earlier, saying that we do have a female comedian in the building. How hard is it for black female comedians in the business, Melanie?
Well, it's a pretty hard job. You know, it's a man's world. I mean, I have been one of the females that have been blessed. I like to call myself a lady. I have been one of the ladies who have been blessed with the opportunity to do a lot of tours, but we don't get equal pay. Just with like everything else, we don't get the equal pay, and it's a lot of drama. I mean, I get a lot of respect because I don't do comics. I don't do comics. Fans, I'll screw the shit out of fan. Ain't nobody gonna believe you. I don't care. But comics, no, that's off limits. That's crossing the line.
Well, I want you to know I ain't a motherfucking comic. I want that right now. So let me put my bid in
Okay.
right
Melody.
now.
Okay.
Hey, Melody, I just got to say I'm a huge fan. I remember when I first saw you, and y'all didn't know during the break, hey, it's Tony Davis, the Rainbow Edition. I apologize for being late. Traffic on Sepulveda to L.A. But before, when we were doing the commercial, I was telling her some of her jokes from way back when. But you're a veteran. You've been in this business for a very long time.
I started in '92.
Shoot, I was still in college then.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
You went to school? I would have never
girl,
guessed that.
I didn't say I finished. I just said I went.
Oh, okay.
But God, you look incredible for you. I think I'm straight
Thank
for a
you.
day.
Oh, no, I was 18 when I started. My job now. I'm just
But you know,
30.
you've been in this business for a very, very long time, and you have lasted. I'm just glad to see that you're still out there hustling. I
Did
still
Tony?
hear the name.
Wait a minute. Did Tony say he'd go straight for a day?
He
What
did.
the-
He slipped. He slipped and said it.
No, if he gets some of this, trust me, he'll turn all the way.
I believe that.
It's that
Y'all don't see
comeback
her
right
body.
here.
The audience, y'all can't see this woman's body, but this woman just said she started in '92 and she got a body better than Angelina Jolie.
Well,
Banging.
thank you. Wow.
Banging.
You know, Mama said you just need to try it one time. What she told me, I'm thinking like the girls in my neighborhood
Don't
didn't look
knock
like
it,
that.
girl. Once you go to this kind, you won't go back.
Well, you keep that over on the other side of that boardroom table, then, honey.
You'll be taking that rainbow.
Hey, let
down,
me,
I tell you that.
How'd you manage to stay single though? That's what I want to know.
I've been married and divorced, and who
He
says
wasn't
I'm single?
snapping his
I
neck
really
or nothing.
am busy. It's hard to have a relationship. I travel a lot. I get men. I have a lot of fans that are men, and sometimes when if I take someone I'm dating with me, he starts getting jealous and
Sand at
insecure.
the beach.
Yeah.
So I choose. I just have friends with benefits.
Hey, let me slip in here real quick for a second. I'm in the film division.
Okay.
I'm just popping in on the comedy side.
Uh-huh.
But tell me about your writing side. Let's talk about your scripts. You told me a little bit something.
I'm a writer also. I first of all, I write all my own material.
That's right.
And I just watch and I'm working on Mr. Everybody right now.
Right,
Brian
right.
Williamson and his lying ass. Yeah. Pookie ain't the only one. Brian up there lying too. Telling bigger lies. But I also write screenplays, and that is something that is really, really hard. I have a great screenplay. It's a great script. Getting it financed, and I believe if I had a penis and 2 balls, it would already be done.
Get out of here.
Yeah, but unfortunately,
But-
you have to use it with someone with another penis and 2
That's what I'm gonna have to do. And
Unfortunately.
I shop. It's hard to. It's scary to shop it because people will snatch ideas.
Oh, yeah.
From
yeah.
your movie
Oh,
without
yeah.
stealing your movie.
Yeah, yeah.
And then what can you do? Can you sue them?
No, you can't. You wasted time. That's why I didn't even say the
Right.
title of it. I
I'm
just
a hood
said
boy. I will
there's
whip
a
the crap
bomb
out
movie.
of
I mean,
a
it's
bomb.
already.
If anybody got any power out there, out
This
there,
film can be
hook
shot.
this lady up.
Come
This
on
film
now,
can
you-
be
you-
shut for $50,000.
Come on now.
Full
I
everything.
see.
Everything. I have
Al.
a friend that owns a studio with red cameras in it, and he said he would do it for me for $30,000. And I figure we can pay my comic friends, because I know a lot of comics that would gladly come in and do a ultra low budget SAG for me and pay them on the back end, because once this hits,
It's gonna
the
smoke.
name alone will take it
See,
to
Al,
you
quit
got
playing,
30,000.
Al, about
You might want to go to
finances.
Indigo. Go to
Yeah,
Indigo.
no, he got Indigo right there. He can finance it himself.
John Singleton is a good friend of mine, and he keeps telling me to pay for it.
man.
Do it yourself. Do it yourself.
No,
No,
Al
it's a
can-
good
Al-
idea.
Al
but
Franklin can
I
do
don't
it.
have that kind of money. Are you kidding?
See, Al Franklin
I'm
can do
driving
it.
a '99
Oh, Lord.
Lexus. Are you kidding? What do we?
Well, at least you have a Lexus.
I'm trying to be a matchmaker here, and you're not.
Well, I've been out in the hallway with him for like 20 minutes
See, now
before
he
this
can-
show.
See, well, he
already
can finance
came
it
on.
if he wants to.
Oh,
he
I
just
put
needs
it
to
at
go in
him.
his backyard.
I've
and dig out
already
some of that money.
thrown it at him.
Come
when
on,
she
Al,
told me
come
the
on.
title, I was already thinking about, damn, we got to do this.
If you knew the title of the other, remember I told you I wrote 2 films. Both of them have great titles, and the movie they're comedies. And each one teaches a lesson.
I tell you what, based on what you told me,
yes.
and I'm saying this right here on the radio, I have 2 movies in front of you.
Okay.
When Rita returns.
This movie is a Christmas movie.
Oh, okay. Well, it won't be out for Christmas.
Right. Not this Christmas. Not this Christmas.
We could be shooting it for Christmas now.
Right.
We could be shooting it for Christmas because I think it's a smoker, and I got this one thing, a LBG movie called When Rita Returns. When that's done.
I know, don't tell people.
Oh, when that's done. Oh man, they don't. All they know is the title.
Is someone recording this?
Yeah, this is live.
But it is a smoker. But when that's done, we're gonna talk because I think you got a hit.
All
Thank
right.
you very much.
All right, King. Now, who's this gentleman right here on the left hand side of me? Hey.
Hey, that's the other Al.
I was going to say, I think we have another film director in the house.
Yes,
don't
we do.
Right.
No, wait. Let me clarify this.
Okay.
I'm
He's a
gonna be straight.
filmmaker.
We have a real filmmaker in the house.
All right.
Come on now, let's give him some respect. Come
Give
on.
it
on.
up
Alton Glass.
for Mr. Al
Al
Glass.
Yeah.
Oh, I auditioned for you one time. I ought to jump on you.
Let's make the audience familiar with your work.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
wait a
do
minute.
that.
I'm going to pass the mic. I'm no in between person. Let's hear it from not the horses, the man's mouth.
All right now.
Thank you for having me on. My name is Alton Glass, and I am an independent filmmaker. I'm a writer, director, and producer. And as of, I would say, the past few years, I focus more on producing so that I can continue to create more stories that continue to uplift our images in the entertainment business. So that's my focus now. Just recently wrapped a film called. I've just recently come off a tour, a 17-city international tour for a movie I did called Crew. That's CRU.
Excellent movie.
And we were fortunate to make history at the American Black Film Festival in 2014 and win 5 out of 6 categories for our feature film.
Give it to him. Tell us some of the other films that you've done, because I'm a fan.
Okay, so
Didn't know what you look like,
so,
but
so,
I'm
so
a
I
fan.
did another holiday film after we won an awards at the film festival. We won on a 17-city tour. We invited to Amsterdam all the way to the Virgin Islands, and then I was fortunate to get a call from TV1 by the head of programming, D'Angela Proctor, and she wanted me to do a Christmas movie called Second Chance Christmas, and that was one of the highest rated holiday movies for them.
Candy Bearers.
Candy Burris was in it.
My friend Ella Joyce.
Ella Joyce. Why don't you tell them about it?
I'm sorry. I want you to talk about it.
But I mean, if you saw it, I would like to know,
Candy
what you
Burris
thought
from The
about it.
Housewives.
One of my good friends, Ella Joyce, was in it. It was a wonderful movie, and I auditioned for something. Keep going.
Yeah,
Didn't
so
get it, though,
a
did
young
you?
guy named Michael Rainey Jr., who was a young kid from The Butler, he did a stellar job. He was also in a movie called Love with Common, and he's just a young, thriving talent. Another guy named McKinley Freeman and Robin Lee. So the film was about a young man who meets an older woman, and she has a son. It's about 13, and they get married. And it's about a younger man, sort of filling the shoes of another man's child and taking on that responsibility when he didn't have to. And the mom dies suddenly right before Christmas, and he's left to try to figure out what he wants to do with this young boy, whether he want to put him back in the system or take responsibility, and sort of mend their gap between them with the loss of the common denominator.
And it ain't his kid. He just
Not
married
his kid,
into
he
it.
just married into it. Yeah.
And he having a hard time wondering, now, was the kid bad or good?
He was a when they first met each other, they didn't really know how to adapt to each other because the mom and things move so fast. So so when she left, they were trying to figure out how do they move forward, and they're going through some of the same pain, And at some point, he wants to, say, this is not my responsibility.
I'm gonna ask you something. That's a good script. But here's my question to all the men at the table, and please don't give me the Hollywood answer. How many of y'all, in that experience, what would you do, honestly? I'll start with you, King Kadar. What would you do if you married a girl, she had a kid before you got there, and she died, and now should you put the kid back in the system? Or, not back in the system. Do you stay or do you leave?
No, I'm 100%. I would raise the child hands down. Wouldn't even be no thought with me. You know?
Okay.
All right.
That's how I live. That's what I do. I've
Okay.
raised several people's kids that live in other men's households.
Right.
How you love that?
Can I bring her over?
No, that
Nah,
would
it was
be,
because of circumstance.
no, that would be an automatic for me. You know,
What is the automatic what?
Well, a responsibility. You know, you get a responsibility. You don't get it easy out because the other person check out. If it's on your plate, you got to deal with it. And that's just, you got to man up. That's just automatic. You
do realize that you guys are the minority in this, though.
Yeah, I know.
I would too, because most men don't even take care of their own daggone children.
My family,
let alone
my family didn't raise me that way, and so that's the way I want people to see my kids to see me, and I want them to have the same value I have. That is, other people are more important than yourself.
I want you all to know out there in the audience that I believe before Mr. Al to speak that Mr. Franklin really would. He had such a great relationship with his daughter, and I don't think he minds me saying this, that when we first met him and his daughter, we thought they were not father and daughter. They are that tight. So I do believe that. I do believe that. And I've known King for 20-something years. I believe he would too. But I just want you to know that you asked that question to the wrong group of guys.
Right.
Because you asked it to some really decent guys.
To some strong black men.
You needed to ask it to the majority of the men out there who
Yo, you need to go on Slauson.
And I want to ask Derek.
Well, basically, I would
Be
just
honest.
say, look at him, man. I love your mama, but you know, she gone, and so I got to go. You know,
keep it real,
Keep
Derek.
it real. I'm not claiming for what you did,
ought
but
to
keep
be
it
able to
real.
take care of yourself. I leave you a couple of dollars. You know, I used to tell you not to come in your mama room when we had the door closed.
Okay, well, I got a question. You crazy? Let's go back to Crew. Who's in that movie?
Crew stars a guy named Keith Robinson from Get On Up. Richard T. Jones, who was recently in Godzilla, and he's done a number of Tyler
Did he
Perry
play
films.
Godzilla? What was his character?
He was the only black leading general in the film.
Oh,
Godzilla,
so
that
just
was
Godzilla-like. No, I'm just kidding.
It was a great look for him. Another guy named Antoine Tanner, Melissa DeSouza from Best Man.
Oh yeah.
And there's a guy named Samuel Otibi and Allison Eastwood as well.
Wow.
And a young guy named Jermaine Crawford from The Wire.
So
sounds like a nice cast.
My next question is for you, Alton, and then we're gonna ask my girl Melanie a question. I want both of you to answer this question. If you had to pick 3 things you would tell a young aspiring comedian or a young aspiring actor to know 3 people to further their career or at least put it on the right path, what 3 people would you say, name-wise?
Name 3 people that I think they should sort of model their career after.
Oh no, not model, but no. Like if somebody asked me right now, I'll answer my question. Somebody said, Black, what should I do if I want to get in the record business? The first thing I would do is say, start your buzz. So everybody start knowing who you are. So and I would tell them to go over the internet. Don't wait for a record company to come get you. Start at the internet and start trying to get. And some people you want to know at the internet is World Star. You want to know all hip hop. These people, the owners of these sites. One name is Q and one name is Greedy and Grouchy. You got to know these people. And I would say my third thing is start building a relationship with DJs. DJs in your hometown, DJs out of town. So that's what I would tell them, how to get to know, to get a buzz, to try to go. I want to know in the comedian field what kind of people, Melanie, you need to know to try to get there. It's no right or wrong answer to this, but what would you tell somebody? And then you, as a filmmaker, what would you tell? Now, what is your answer? I asked Derek this, and Derek came up with a couple of answers.
Yeah.
And I'm just asking all of you.
Well, I really don't know what people I would want to know. There's things that you need to know because as a comedian, you're a hustler. All you need to do is hit every stage. The people will come to you. There's no person like I need to know Eddie Murphy or who Kevin Hart. No, you need to know what to do when you get your butt up on that stage, and you need to know to do you. They already have a Chris Tucker and a Kevin Hart and a Eddie Murphy. Do you? Don't imitate what you see making it, because that's not gonna happen for you. All they're gonna do is say, "Hey, that person over there think he Kevin Hart. He's trying to be another Kevin Hart. So do you, and do your own material. Try not to watch a lot of comedy because that subliminal thing starts happening, and you think you wrote that joke that you saw on Comedy Central 3 months ago. So try to stay away from watching a lot of, or listening. Stay off of Sirius, listening to radio, because I've watched comics go on Comic View and do my jokes, my jokes that are like my signature jokes. And so I get like 1,000 hits on Facebook and Instagram. Some guy did your joke on whatever, so people know they're the people that they really like. And when they see somebody imitating them or doing their material, they're going to call it out. So do you. And for the ladies, you'll make it much further if you keep your mouth and your legs shut. Most of the girls that are cute, screwing everybody, they're not doing anything but screwing anybody. They're not booking any work. So, keep your legs closed and your mouth closed. When I'm on tour, I don't see nothing.
Right.
Don't ask me nothing because I don't see nothing. And you'll work for a long time.
All right, Mr. Alton.
Let's give him a round
I would
of applause.
say, that's a great question. I would say mine is sort of twofold. I was in this entertainment industry. There's so many different paths you can go on. So for me, I would say out of the three people, the first person you need to know is yourself, because if you get lost in the midst of that journey, you would never find your way, and you got to define what success is to you first instead of just chasing something.
Hallelujah.
So and then for me, my barber was very influential in my career. A good barber or a good stylist, they know a lot of people. And they talk to you with your guard down, and you don't want anything from each other. So when you're talking to them and they know what you're doing, they will refer you to people. And that's how I got one of my first biggest jobs. My barber introduced me to a guy named Eugene Smoke out of Atlanta, Georgia, who gave me my first music video. And that's what really took my career, in the direction where it needed to go. And then third, I would say a great attorney, because they've already vetted out a lot of people. And they know how to protect you, and they know what to get rid of the BS, and they can introduce you to the right people. And that's what's been my key counsel for the past 14 years pursuing this business.
No, that's some great advice. Well, we got all the people around the table, though, I'd like to pass it to Tony just for a minute and get his rainbow input, because I did see a few rainbow sprinkles on the Oscar show. So I'd like you to talk a little bit about the Oscars.
Well, I as a card-carrying SAG member who's allowed to vote, I was invited to go to the Oscars, but it rained, and LA people do not know how to drive, so I didn't go. No. So I watched most of it from the house. I thought Neil Patrick Harris did a pretty good job. There was a whole thing about him and discrimination and stuff, and as black people, there is a lot of discrimination, but daggone it, could we stop screaming bloody racism every time somebody even said something? It just, wow. I'm just there with it. And I remember, and I wanted to speak about this years ago when Kobe Bryant had an incident on the court, and he called the referee a faggot, and everybody all the gay people made a big thing about that. Please, people, let's just get over it. Now, if I'm on the street, walking down the street, looking, as feminine as I can be sometime, and you call me a faggot after I drag your ass in the alley and rape you, I will then get I'm sorry, beat you up. I'm sorry. I will then get very offended. But I don't assume that every man that calls another guy, especially if you're calling a heterosexual guy a faggot, is gay bashing or necessarily being homophobic. I don't assume that everyone that has an issue with someone of a different race is racist. It's just really, I'm just done with it. I was really moved. He saw me snatch. King is a fool. I was really impressed with the gentleman who spoke about, he tried to commit suicide at 16.
Correct.
And
he
how
was gay also.
He was gay also. And I had it a little easier than most because my parents were accepting and people.
And you grew up
and
where?
I grew up in Washington, D.C. and they were accepting. They didn't approve of it. They accepted it. My father's a reverend.
You didn't get beat up a lot.
I didn't get beat up. And I had a bunch of brothers. So I played sports, I boxed, and I did everything. I think my family most issue because I had a habit of dating a bunch of losers. But, it's just like females.
Women do that, too.
Right. It's the female thing, that bad boy image, the one with the pants sagging down and all the one you want. But, the difference between me and the average female is that when, he got crazy, it was my turn to get crazy. And, all that faggot shit went out the window because it was time for me to
throw down.
Yeah, because I realized.
So I'm gonna ask you a tough question. right here, and forgive me. I'm gonna ask you a tough question. Do you think people are born gay,
Oh,
or
yeah.
they adapt gay?
Oh no, I think people are born gay.
Some
but
are.
I think
Some no.
there's a difference between homosexuality and a homosexual experience. Because I do believe that as a lot of these guys talk about, I was in jail. I would, Negro, please, you locked up for 30 years.
He was in jail, and
some
he
of them
liked it after a
transvestites
while.
be looking better than half of these chicks out here. Don't sell that to somebody else.
Like, I don't know about that.
You know, don't please.
I don't know about all the no.
I said some of these. I didn't say.
Okay.
I said some. I mean, we know really.
But I thought it was if you were on top, you're not gay.
Well, and a lot of guys feel that way.
They do.
And I do feel as though a lot of guys who are on top aren't necessarily gay. I do feel that.
Right.
I believe a gay man or a gay woman to me is someone who prefers to only have sex with someone of the same sex.
Correct.
What's the difference between the down low man and the gay man?
A down low man can either be a straight man who wants to experiment, or a down low man could be a punk ass motherfucker who don't want to be honest about it, and he can play the role for the rest of his life.
Or he just likes both.
Right, and it's bisexual. And I also believe there are gay men who will never have sex with other men because in their mind they believe it's wrong religion. They just can't bring themselves to do it. Even because I got to tell this dirty story. Oh my God!
I believe
that. Hold on, I used to be a stripper. I was thinner.
Wow.
At a down low gay club when oh my God, my father's gonna kill me in L.A.
What city was that?
It was in L.A. And it was like for about 2 months when I was struggling in 1999. And also in this club they had movies where you could watch porn. And I walked past one day and the guy walked in and was watching gay porn, and I couldn't believe it. But he was married, and like. I mean, I said, and a friend of mine came on to him. He's like, I don't do that shit. I just watch it. I'm like, okay.
So as a gay male stripper, do you do lap dances?
I mean, this one was a private. It was a private room, and the person would come in, and it would just be me and them. And my father's going to kill me. Oh my God!
Is he listening?
I hope not.
Well, we'll stop before you go too far.
Yeah,
We only got
you.
a few minutes left, and I just want to get a little
Jesus.
weigh in on the Selma. Little controversy and the Glory song and people crying.
Did you see that? I had went to the bathroom and came back, and I don't know whatever all these grown men crying. Did somebody die?
I thought that song that the way it was delivered was so powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And it was memorable, probably the most memorable moment of the Oscars.
Yeah.
And the most quality moment that they've had in 10 years.
Yeah, a rapper and a soul singer.
And a soul singer. And
John Legend
and for
and Common,
John
shout out to
Legend to risk everything, because he's crossed all the way over,
Mm-hmm.
to risk his whole career and opportunity to get sponsors, because he spoke up. He stepped all the way up. He didn't hold nothing back. Common, I expected out of Common, because Common, he always say, I don't give a...
Right.
You know, and they accepted him. And both of them together was so powerful. A lot of people don't like the Oscars because they're boring. Right. I love it because it's boring. I don't want everybody hip hop at the Oscar.
Right.
I want, when I get my Oscar, I want everybody tucked up too. You know,
you want them to turn down instead of turning up.
No, they can turn it up when I get my Oscar, but I want everybody, hey. Act like you've been there before.
That's right.
I was happy for Common
Oscar
and John Legend. It's wonderful to see icons and people who've been in the industry for a while, people who've honed in their craft, like everyone at this table have, and really get their just due. I mean, that's what I was going to
say. I think we got some Oscar material here. We got screenwriters, producers, directors,
people who worked in this industry and really did it, for years. I was impressed with Lady Gaga. She really showed people that she was not a wannabe Madonna.
Alan, what did you think? What was your best?
Middle class act. Yeah.
What was your film of the year?
I think it was a great. This year, I think it was a lot of great films in general. So
me too.
I think from Selma to Birdman to Theory of Everything, it was so many good quality movies this year. And the best films, they won. I don't necessarily think anything got snubbed.
Right.
I think you get another shot and you keep making quality movies, and I think that's just what you have to keep doing. And iron sharpens iron. So you lose, you come back, you win next year.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
How did you feel about that movie Kingsman? Did anybody see that movie?
Kingsman was a great movie. It's not an Oscar type of movie,
yeah,
but it's a fun
Samuel
movie.
Jackson, Russell Simmons?
Yes, he was. He did a great job.
Wasn't they talking about the Rush Guard?
Yes, he was.
That's a scary movie. Y'all go see that movie.
Yeah, I saw it.
Well, let me tell y'all something. This is totally off, but I was watching the news last night, and you guys got to be so careful with your keys now. There is an app that can take a picture of your key and go make a copy from a picture.
Well,
this was on ABC
somebody
News
wants to get
last
shot,
night.
They plan on walking up in my house.
No, yeah, well, if you're asleep or have company, you're going to be caught off guard if somebody has a key to your house.
sex life is
So
boring,
when
so.
you valet park your key, make sure you only leave the key. I'm going to invent something to cover the keys because that is so dangerous.
See, you never know what good information you're going to get at the boardroom. You're going to find out how to protect your car, your keys,
Any
how to get
key
into
on your
business.
key ring can be copied. If there's any key on your key ring,
Well, y'all
can be
heard
copied
Melanie.
by a
Listen to
picture.
that now. Listen to that. Listen
All right, a lot of good
There's
information
an
going
app
down
for
at the
that.
boardroom. We'd like to thank you all for joining us. We really appreciate you coming in, tuning into the boardroom on LA Radio, LATalkLive.com. So make sure and check us out every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. We're going to be here next week. We got a big heavy music show going on next week. We got 7A. We got them dudes. We got Glenn Plummer. We got Pam Richardson. We got a lineup. So thank you again for tuning into the boardroom. For Kevin Black, for Tony, King Kidar, Al Franklin, Alton Glass, Melanie Camacho, Derek. We got a great lineup here tonight. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Catch us next Tuesday, the boardroom.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Go up, take it to a level she ain't even know enough. Nobody can't cool down when I show up. Till you reach the finish line, I ain't slowing up. Wait a minute, come again? Say what? Oh, you about to come again? So what? That's the purpose. I'ma have you on loud like a purpose. And I've been waiting all day to blaze you. Cloud 9, that's phase 2. And you ain't dropped since I met you. And you come back cause I get you. Yeah. And niggas be like, I know what you like. But really,
keep on coming down, got my head up in the clouds, and I'm so high. Got my feet up off the ground and my head up. Ready for a come back again that I might. You wanna get it tonight? Best love in here of your life. Come rock my body, I'm feeling naughty. You give it to me right.
We know there are many choices in internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.